Welcome to my weekend vlog. So I did a vlog last Sunday night, and this might be a regular thing. This is kind of fun, and it's one of the easiest type of videos that I produce. So in these vlogs, I kind of let you know what's going on with my YouTube channel, where I'm riding, what's going on. Think of it as kind of a backlot tours of Clint Gibbs YouTube. So happy fall. This is Saturday, September 22nd, first day of fall. It's kind of a cruel time of the year for us here in Florida because even though it's fall, it's still extremely hot. We don't cool off until about mid-October, but we're getting less rain, so that's a really good thing. And by the way, if you commute and you live due west of where you work, be careful because this is the fall equinox, which means the sun rises perfectly in the east and sets perfectly in the west. And so you're heading right into the sun as you commute to work and then right into the sun as you go home. So if you want to get some more information on commuting, I do have a bike commuting guide where I mention that along with a lot of other things. So I'll link that in the description below. All right, so this week, first week with a power meter on my 9er RLT9 RDO. I'm really enjoying it. You know, in hindsight, if I knew I was going to have two bikes, cross and gravel, I would have only put the power meter on my gravel bike because I do most of my training on that bike. When I put the power meter on my cyclocross bike, I only had one bike at the time. But if you go back and watch a bunch of my videos on the RLT9, you know I tested it out in Colorado, just fell in love with that bike, and then the rest is history. Okay, so I mentioned last week that I'm trying to get more mobile with my videos and trying to find the right setup. So thought about switching to an iPhone. I'm not sure if I can do it. I'm an Android guy and I love my Google Pixel, and I did find a way to get a lavalier mic working with my Google Pixel. Open Camera app on the rear camera actually has video stabilization. I didn't know that, so I'm going to try that. So here's what I'm going to do. We'll do a little test. I'm going to switch this video from my DSLR that I'm using, and I'm going to switch to the phone with the Rode SmartLav Plus, and we're going to see how it works. So y'all let me know. All right, here goes. All right, so now I'm vlogging with my phone. Y'all let me know, is this video okay? Is it really good? Is it terrible? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, what else is going on? So, intervals in the heat. My gosh, it was hot. I did. So last week, in the middle of the week, I went out about noon for my lunch break, and I wanted to do an FTP test since I have a power meter on my gravel bike. And so I did this crazy interval. So if you've never done an FTP test with your Garmin, it kind of ramps it up. So you'll go 4 minutes in a certain power zone, and then it'll ramp it up to a higher power zone for another 4 minutes. So I went 19 minutes. I mean, just blowing myself up. And after the test, the Garmin said, "Cannot calculate your FTP with this workout. Please try again." Please try again. Yeah, I was done after that. So that was frustrating, but we'll have to try it again next week. All right, so cross season, actually I said last Sunday that it was 2 weeks away. It's actually 3 weeks from today. I guess the first race got pushed back a little bit, so that is happening in 3 weeks. Also, so I mentioned the power meter. I was getting a little bit of creaking noise coming from the bottom bracket, and so I checked the torque specs, and I ordered a new torque wrench this week. I've been using this kind of torque wrench for the really high torque ones, like the crank bolts, and I cannot stand these torque wrenches. I just can't see it. Like it's at an angle where you just have to twist your head. So I got a Park one that goes up to 60 Newton meters that ratchets, that clicks when you get to your torque range or your desired torque. And I have bad memories with this kind of torque wrench because many, many years ago, I was trying to tighten a stem. I had a headset that kept coming loose, and I was trying to tighten a stem, and I was looking at the torque wrench, and it just wasn't quite getting where I wanted it, and finally, the stem bolt snapped. And then I looked inside, and I cracked the carbon steerer tube of a road bike. Again, that was a long time ago. And so, again, I don't like this style of torque wrench. Does anybody else get excited when you get a new tool? I do. All right, what else? So I just replaced the bolts on my Giant TCX, the brake bolts. I mentioned in one of my videos how much I hate torque bolts on brakes. There's nothing wrong with Allen bolts. The TCX, I hadn't had it 2 weeks, and I stripped out the Torx bolt on the brakes because the torque wrench I was using, I couldn't put a lot of pressure on it, and so I got a new torque wrench, the Bursman, and it's a Y wrench, and so I can really put a lot of pressure, so it's much less of a chance. But the problem with these, Torx is okay, but the way SRAM makes these, the head, it's just not deep enough. So, God, go back to Allen bolts. I think I've ranted enough on the SRAM torque bolts. Okay, so really exciting news. It went from sad to exciting. My local bike shop, Bike Works of Gainesville, that I promoted a lot on my YouTube channel, has closed down. It was owned by 3 guys. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I think they just mutually decided it was time to just move on to something else. They all had other businesses. That was just like their part-time thing. So I don't know if they tried to sell it to someone else. It didn't work out. But anyway, that shop closed down. So that was my Giant dealer. And there's another shop that was kind of a sister shop of that one called Super Cool. Super Cool Bike Shop. They've been in business here in town for a long time. And so I'm switching over to that shop. They do not have Giant, but they are an authorized specialized dealer. They're a big specialized dealer. So I'm switching shops, and you're going to start to see some specialized bikes come in my test. In fact, I've got one on the way. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a really exciting bike to review. Let's just say I'm going to be riding trail bikes a lot over the next few months. It's going to be mainly trail bikes and gravel and cyclocross. So I wanted to announce that. Again, I'll be talking more about that as I get into it, but that's a pretty exciting news for me just to try different bikes. So now I may still have access to Giant. I'm working something out because I love Giant bikes, and you know why if you watch my channel. So I may still have connections to get Giant bikes, but I'll let you know more as that comes together, if it does. But I definitely have access to Specialized, and I have a great relationship with Niner directly. So I still will be reviewing Niners. And I just, probably the 2 bikes that I ride the most right now are my Niner RKT and my Niner RLT. I'm just putting a lot of miles on those bikes. So today's Saturday when I'm shooting this video. My ride today, I did a gravel ride, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to do gravel or mountain, so I did both. I keep my mountain bike at work, and so I did a gravel ride. And during the gravel ride, I bent my small chain ring on my gravel bike, and I have a whole nother video about what happened. So look at my channel, you'll see what happened. So fortunately, I was able to make it to my office, switch to my mountain bike, and I had a great ride on the Trance. So I rode the Trance today. Like I said, going to be riding my trail bike for a while. All right, that'll wrap it up for this week's vlog. Again, y'all have a great week, and I hope you get some good riding in. Thanks for watching.